Welcome back to Salty at 60. My name is Lori. What in the heck is minimal boho style? Well, let's talk about it. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of exactly what I think minimal boho style is, let's talk a little bit about boho in general. It is a beautiful style that is mostly unstructured and it looks fabulous on mature ladies like us. And it works particularly well on all ages of people and all body types. However, it is a really great look for the woman who is a flamboyant natural like myself. So I certainly do like this style. And one of the things that I like about it is not structured. It is mostly flowy. It's creative, it's drapey, it's feminine, and it's interesting. Now, if you are one of my salty over 60s and you think bohemian and you think, the photographs we see of sort of like the whole rock festival look that all the young ladies are wearing, this is definitely a style that I am not going to be featuring a whole lot here because I think that although there's no age limit, you can dress like you're going to a rock festival if you like. I think that most of us in this age category who this channel is for are probably not going to be wearing the belly-bearing shirts and the type of shirts or blouses that you just can't wear a bra with. I think most of us are maybe have left that type of dressing back in the 70s. So yes, boho dressing in the last few years and the modern way it is done can skew a bit youthful. And that's okay if that's a look you're going for or that's the way you like to dress. There's nothing wrong with that. It is a beautiful style. It just gives you the creativity that you need, the freedom you need, and it is a good look. Okay, so you clicked on this video, so I am guessing that you are not a woman who craves structure in her clothing pieces or hard lines or very, very minimal looks. And you also are someone who probably just does not like to dress in what you feel like is a restrictive manner. And that is because boho contains very little of those elements. So let's talk about what it does contain. In boho styles, you will see lots of bell, flare, or balloon sleeves, V-neck or off-the-shoulder tops, Victorian-style blouses in lace or in cut, pattern mixing using florals and ethnic and indigenous prints, flowy midi and maxi dresses, wide leg or flare pants, fringe and embroidery detail, dusters and crochet, cotton and velvet, sandals in leather and suede, espadrilles, cowboy boots, leather loafers and mules, leather or suede booties, wide western or chain belts, western hats and straw hats, unstructured bags, fabrics in linen, cotton, silk, denim, and velvet. Ooh, what an exhaustive list. But as you can see from this list, there is so many things you can choose from this category of accessories and fabrics and cuts for this look that you can absolutely take it and make it work for your particular body and for your own unique personal style. It is a particularly creative way to dress, and the thing that I think I like about it the most is that nobody else is going to look exactly like you because there's freedom in how to put this look together. And I like the fact that it is also a style that does not chase trends. Bohemian style has been around for decades. It is a classic in its own right. Now, it is not always trending front and center every year, but it never really goes out of style. To me, if you are a woman who enjoys bohemian dressing, it's more of a feel. It's more of that feeling of feeling natural, feminine, at one with nature, comfortable. And it's just, it's more of a way you like to express yourself in life, which is why I find it so appealing because I have been, if you've followed my journey, you know that for the last 2 or 3 years, I have done all sorts of things to get to that place where I'm at my personal style. And I was very attracted to this style because it had so many elements in the clothing that I was really drawn to. I am someone who, it took me at least a year to figure out why I didn't really like button-up tops. Now, that's not to say I never wear a button-up top, but it's not my favorite thing. It's not my go-to thing. And usually when I wore it, it was because I wanted to do maybe a layering trick or something like that. But in my natural life, I don't wear a lot of button-up shirts. And that was my first clue that possibly I didn't fit into any sort of like classical dressing. And I've also found that like when the whole, well, it's been going on for a couple of years now, it is still not going anywhere, is that whole dressing elegantly. I am not somebody who, I do not like to wear suiting. I don't like to wear anything that's kind of buttoned up or restrictive or it's belted all over the place. That just makes me feel like I can't wait to get out of my clothes. So through the past 2 years, and especially since I did that video on styling Ralph Lauren and I took a deep dive on that, I have simply not come up for air. And another little joy I found that I didn't realize I would like so much is that because bohemian style has been around for decades, you can thrift a lot of pieces. Now, where I live at, I don't have a lot of good clothing places to thrift at. But, you know, I have bought a lot of things off eBay. I go to Poshmark, I go to ThredUp, and, you know, all the sites out there that we can do to pick up secondhand pieces. And I find that has really been interesting to me because, you know, trying to find certain cuts that fit my particular body shape can be difficult because for the last few years, everything has been very cropped, very boxy. That is something that didn't fit with my natural style, and it was also, I never felt like I looked good in it. So I really have enjoyed this. However, I do, before we get in, you're probably thinking, Lori, when are you going to get to what exactly is minimal boho? I'm getting there. Just give me a moment. Before we get to what I think or I perceive as a minimal boho look, I first wanted to say, boho style for us mature women can go wrong if we're not careful. So I've got a few words of caution for you. Okay, the danger I have found in boho dressing is that it can be way too oversized, way too shapeless, and it can begin to lack clarity. We don't want to end up dressing like an old bag lady. In other words, yes, we enjoy the ease of it and the comfort of it because that's how our natural being is, and that's kind of what we crave. However, you know, the body's already shifting for us, and we don't want to hide our form. We do want to be comfortable, and we want to go for pieces that maybe just skim the body, that are not, you know, overly tight, that sort of thing. So, you know, we don't have to be, if you are uncomfortable about your flaws and your changing body. So just bear that in mind as you pick out pieces and what you think about when you are dressing. You don't want to completely lose your feminine form. Okay, another thing that can go wrong with boho dressing is it can start to look like there's no clear focal point. There's a lot going on in boho style, which is part of the reason why we like it. However, if it's taken maybe too far, it starts to look more chaotic and can look costumey. And that is something we do want to stray away from because, you know, we want to show up as our fabulous, mature, bohemian divas we want to be, not, you know, somebody that looks lost or crazy. So that would just be one of my cautions for the boho style. And so we are getting to that minimal boho style, but I am going to pop up some pictures here and we're going to talk about them, about, you know, what we normally see in boho dressing and why this particular picture is not the one I'm going to share with you, and we're going to walk our way through it, is I do not consider this bohemian minimal. I consider this bohemian maximalist. I just thought that I also wanted to mention as well is that the outfits I'm going to pop up here about maximalism, boho, does not mean these outfits are wrong. It's just a way of me explaining what I consider to be more of a maximalist look. And to contrast that with minimal type looks, you want to think more of like Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, who showed a lot of restraint in her outfits. She did not dress boho, but one of the reasons why her style is so beloved today is a very clean and restrained look. So that's what I want to keep in mind as we talk about these outfits. I'm going to have to put my glasses on so I can walk through these. It's tough being blind as a bat. Okay, so this first outfit is a cute outfit. It's camo pants, and it looks like they're cargo style. They hit at the ankle, and then she's got just like the simple mules or, God, my mind just went blank on what you call those shoes. She's got a hat on. She's got a graphic tee on. That, and then she's got a huge ring on her finger, a huge bracelet, another bracelet on the other arm, and then she's got this big giant bag. Looks fine. It looks very considered, but I would consider that a maximalist look. Okay, in this second one, the one in the middle, we have this woman wearing this beautiful, long, tiered, flowing floral dress. Then she's got on this jacket that I'm not quite sure if the denim is unfinished at the bottom. I can't quite tell here on the photo. And then she is wearing a hat here as well. And again, lots of jewelry. So I would consider this also a maximalist look. All right, then let's take a look at another woman over here on the far side who is also wearing camo pants. And these are very loose fitting. They look like they're like the oversized. And she's sticking with the earth colors here, which is the orange. But as you can see, she has just layered on the jewelry underneath or over this turtleneck top. Her arms are full of jewelry as well. Both arms are full of jewelry. And she's got this little jacket. Very nice maximalist boho look. And again, all these looks are fine if that is the bohemian that you like. All right, just a few other looks here. This woman with the floor or paisley deep V-neck shirt with the chains wrapped all around her neck. And again, she has got a lot of jewelry on, and then the big wide belt. This is a really beautiful look, but it is a maximalist look. Look number two, the lady in the middle. Now, she has also taken this to a very maximalist level. She has what looks to appear like a cotton button-up shirt, and then she's got the nice crocheted, it's not really a duster, like a cape over that. And then, of course, the big wide belt, huge earrings, which I love huge earrings, so I think, kudos to her for wearing those. And, of course, a lot of jewelry around the neck and the bracelets. So she is definitely maximal here. And if you look at both of these women that we just talked about, they both share wearing a lot of turquoise and beads. That is a very popular element. Stone natural beads and turquoise in the bohemian look. All right, the third woman here, she's got on the patch pant, patched up looking jeans. I wanted to say patch pocket. Maybe that's what you actually do call it. And I know Ralph Lauren did have this in some of his older collections. She also has a very patterned shirt on. So you've got two patterns mixing here. She has got this like Stetson type denim hat on. Now she has a lot of jewelry on her wrist as well. And then she's got another, it looks to be some sort of stone necklace in white. And then she's got her boots, here, or booties down here that are leopard. A lot of things going on. This is what makes the bohemian style so unique, is that it can be so personalized to what you like, and there is a certain freedom to it. In other words, there's no rules to this type of dressing. Okay, so here's what I would call minimal bohemian dressing. And this is the style that I most align with, because I think those other styles that the maximalist bohemian style is really cool looking. I would feel costumey in it. It just doesn't fit my nature and how I want to show up in the world. But these outfits do. Let's take a look at number one. I'm attracted to the color blue because I have a light coloring. And she has got this pattern skirt, a little bit flowy at the bottom. Looks like it's maxi. And then she's got like a gauze, top on the top. And it looks like it's got the outside seams on it. Very natural looking and very undone looking. And here she just kept the jewelry on her wrist, the bracelets on her wrist. And then, of course, a very pale, all of them in the same hue or contrast level, or looks like the white boots. So that is a look that I really am drawn to. Look number two is this another gorgeous embroidered skirt. I love this pattern. It is so beautiful. And she has got on, again, an unstructured type sweater on, which just looks so fantastic on her. And it's, off the shoulder. So it's kind of got that free flowy look to it. And then adding the suede boots, that is another natural element that we see all the time in bohemian style. But for me, this still stays kind of clean and it just appeals. And then I love this last outfit here. And I'm telling you what, if I could rock a crop top like this, I'd wear it in a skinny minute because this is so beautiful. This lace top with like the short bell sleeves and then this sort of Western pattern to the skirt. And it's more of a, again, if you notice what I like about all three of these skirts and why I think these kind of fit so nicely into the minimal boho style is because I'm not going to wear a poofy skirt. And in fact, I don't think overly poofy skirts, like the 50s type style with the very narrow waist, fits even with the maximalist boho look. I don't care for that. I want something that looks a little bit more streamlined and thought through. But this would be a beautiful look if you could find like a shirt that's very similar to this in the lace. And I like that it looks like this shirt actually has a lining in it because, again, I'm not going to be showing my bra. And then she has natural elements in the booties and then in the pocketbook and the hat. All right, here is an even simpler, taking a simpler look at some of the more clean boho styles. This first outfit up here is these white or ecru jeans, but what I love is this cape and how she just drapes it over her. And we're going to see a lot of women wearing the the scarves as shirts this year. And I just think that is a beautiful feminine look. It looks very bohemian to me, very carefree, and I like that look. And in the middle picture, I already have a pair of pants like this that are similar to this, and they look to be, like cotton. They've got like a pattern on them, and it's sort of I would say it's kind of a mix between a tie-dye and a Western pattern. And then she's got this simple, asymmetrical top that is off the shoulder, and I like her use of jewelry here. I love this large medallion necklace, and it works perfect in this style because it has like the natural looks like a leather rope on it, and then the pendant looks like it's something that's more natural. And of course I love that bracelet on her, and I just think she's clean, but she looks so boho cool here. I really like that. And then this third outfit is one that I believe I've seen this at Bowden's. It's the embroider on the shirt. They're a little bit puffy. It's a cotton shirt. And this could be, dressed up, dressed down, wear skirts, however you want to do it. Another clean, minimal look. Okay, and these three outfits, let's look at this one that has almost like a watercolor type pattern to it in a very low contrast outfit. It's just beautiful as far as the contrast level goes. And it's just an easygoing maxi skirt. She's got on comfortable sandals. I can't tell here whether those are in gold or if they are in just like a leather sandal, a very simple straw or rattan bag. And she, again, has that long necklaces. As you know, we are going to see a lot of the statement jewelry again this year. And the top is perfection. That blouse is perfection because it sits nicely on her shoulders and it just falls away from her form. and it's got that drapey, relaxed boho feel. Okay, in the middle, this to me, when we first start looking at the pictures that I showed you that were maximalism, this is something I would go more for, like these olive colored denim. At least it looks olive colored. It could be gray here. But she's got, you know, the braid in her hair. And the only thing that's absolutely bohemian in this look is this duster. So it's all very clean still. You could trade out that duster and go for a different style. So I really like that. And again, staying with the leather element of the sandals, clean, good looking, minimalist boho. And then this last picture here on the far side, again, she's got the patterned cotton or linen pants with the waistband that is elastic, and just a nice free flowing, you know, it looks like an ecru type colored shirt, a blouse. And there's nothing like crazy about these. None of these women have over accessorized too much. You know, none of it looks costumey, I should say. Now, again, I want to stress that I am not hating on maximalism bohemian. I love it on other people. But I feel like you gotta have that personality to carry that off for it to feel not costumey and more natural to you. This is my like zone here where I like to be a little different. I like to dress a little bit more, you know, relaxed, more comfortable. And so that's why I like this minimal look. So I am going to be doing the next step of my spring planning, which I hope to do this week coming up. I want to be able to pull out all of my spring clothes, and I'm going to start going through them to see what fits in this look that I am tending to lean towards and have been slowly purchasing since like last summer. Little pieces here and there to try them on, see if I liked it. So I feel like I have enough now to where I can pull it out and see if there's other pieces that I might need or if I'm lacking anything. And I also wanted to do a video on that to kind of show you what my thought processes were, and maybe it can help you as well if you were interested in this style. And then I wanted to do another video coming up, and I've picked up some really what I consider to be cute, comfortable footwear for women over 60. You know, I have figured out that I cannot wear the little strappy sandals anymore. There's not enough cushion in them for me. These old girls need to feel comfortable, and I need the stability when I'm walking. So I think I've picked up a few pieces that will match this style, hopefully. And that being said, I am not going to always dress every day in, you know, some sort of bohemian look. You know, I just think that overall, these are the shapes that I like in pieces. I like the color, I like the patterns, but I like still being very simplistic and restrained. So that's where I think I'm going to have a lot of fun styling this, because I am having a hard time finding pieces. If you are a lady that loves boho style and have been wearing it for years, I would love it if you would just drop me a comment below and tell me where you're shopping at online. I need to know where you're shopping at, because a lot of the links that I'm following are dead ends where the clothing is so youthful and also very barely there kind of clothing that it doesn't fit my mature aesthetic, and I'm having a hard time where to find these pieces other than in the secondhand market. So I would love any tips you have that you can give me on that type of you know, clothing and where you're getting it from. I would just really appreciate that. I do know Free People and Anthropologie has a lot. It's a little bit out of my price range for just like a lot of summer pieces. I'm the kind of person who is willing to invest in something that's going to last me for years in my winter category, because number one, the winter and fall season here lasts much longer than the summer one. But I just feel like, you know, for me to invest, you know, hundreds of dollars in a duster that is half the time polyester, I'm just not going to do it. So I would love to know where your secrets are for shopping, and whether or not you feel like this is a good look for mature women and something that you like to you know, play with, or whether or not it is your personal style. Drop me a line, let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.